Howdy, folks. So today I got something different for you. I've got my steel player up from Georgia. So I do a lot of tracks. I do a lot of production here for folks where, someone wrote a song for their girlfriend and they want a studio recording or whatever. And I play a lot of different instruments, but I don't play the steel. I tried for about 5 days when I was 17 and I got so angry. I was like, dude, this is for the birds. And so I don't know how to play steel guitar, but Daniel Beachey is one of the best players I know. If you know Cecilia, Person County Clay, basically any steel that hear in my stuff, it's Daniel Beachey. Yeah. Anyways, so I thought, man, he's in the area, and I thought I'm gonna introduce him to you folks, and we'll just have a little conversation, and you can see a little bit behind the scenes how we work. So when did you start playing music?
I started playing music when I was about 11. That's when I started picking up the guitar. So yeah, my older sister taught me a few chords on the guitar, and I just kind of kept picking up different instruments from there. Yeah. I messed around, through the years I used to play a lot of banjo when I was a young teenager. Yeah.
Are you good at it?
No.
That never stops you. Okay. That never stops a banjo player.
Right. Yeah. I actually really enjoyed learning how to play, the Scruggs style banjo. Yeah. And but I kind of my younger brother started playing banjo then too, and so I was like, well, I don't really need to play anymore. Yeah. So but I always had a fascination with the steel. That was one thing I always wanted to do.
When did you start playing steel?
I finally got my first steel when I was 16. Okay. So
and do you consider that your main instrument now? Or because I know you're a great guitar. We had a jam at our house. I don't know, it was a week ago, and you pulled out some kind of Fleetwood Mac thing on the acoustic guitar. You make me sick. But anyway, so is steel your
steel? Okay, steel is definitely my money maker.
Okay.
Yeah. So I enjoy playing quite a few different things, but yeah, steel is my main one as far as something that I would use. Professionally to performance or we do a lot of collaboration with studios and different producers.
Yeah, and so tell me how that works for people that don't know, you don't track in studios. We worked on a ton of tracks together, and you've never been to Ragamuffin Hall till this morning. Yes, tell me
first time here. So it's very simple. Conrad sends me, or whoever is sending me the song, they just email me the track as an MP3 or a WAV. Drop it into my system, and just play along with it and record a track separately from the track that was sent me. Then when I'm happy with it, I'll export it out of my DAW and email it back. Mm-hmm. And then basically, you'd layer it and you'd mix it in back with your track.
Here. Yeah. So it's a great way to, if I'm working alone a lot of the time, and it's usually a 3-day turnaround where it's I'm working on a track on a Monday. If I get it over to him, he'll have it back on Thursday or Friday. And it's a really nice, tool to have in my pocket. It's really nice to be able to offer that. It's one of the great things about being a musician in 2025. It's
exactly.
You're all the way in Georgia, I'm all the way, and we work together quite a bit. Daniel Beachey, I just thought of this. He did all the Ben and Rose stuff, all the steel.
That's right.
For Teardrops for Pennies and Slowly But Surely. And it still cracks me up on that. Usually it's I feel man, I did the tracks and I shot the video, and nobody cares. What they care about is the steel and the singing. So I'm going to get my licks with that. Well, but it's true. It's great.
I saw some comments saying, "How are they having a steel and electric guitar on there if they're Amish?"
Really?
Yeah. So I guess that kind of blows people's minds. But yeah, I tell people that you don't see me in a lot of stuff. I'm not on any videos, right?
Yeah.
Because truth is, steel players, even if I'm on stage and there's a camera pointed at the band, they're not going to be pointing at me very much. We're just kind of in the background, and we make these sounds that people recognize, but they probably don't really know what it is, most people, a lot of the times.
Dude, and I'm just thinking of the steel players I know, Dan Dugmore, and Russ Paul.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been around Paul Franklin. But like even their personalities are just kind of like, just kind of how you are. It's just kind of like, you know, it's like not impish, but almost. And I guess you can't really, like with electric guitar, if you want to be a show off, you totally can be.
Sure.
I mean, you can like, you know.
Yeah.
And steel, it's not you're
It's hard
using
to-
everything. I mean, you're using your knees,
Exactly.
your feet, and your.
I think that's like it's hard to be a rock star with steel, like you said, like because you're basically just sitting there concentrating as hard as you can, making sure that you're playing a fretless instrument. So you have to make sure you're in tune and that you're picking the right strings, and that just doesn't really lend itself to thrashing around and headbanging and stuff like that.
That's so funny. I'd never put that together about a steel player being a certain personality type. I mean, I don't know if it's true across the board, but like my bass players are always kind of quiet, goofy guys, you know, and electric players are always. I never really. That's
actually
so
funny because there are a lot of steel players historically. Buddy Emmons probably being the main one, but the steel to bass pipeline is pretty strong. Like Buddy Emmons would play with Ray Price, play steel with his band, you know, the Cherokee Cowboys, I think. And then he'd spend 6 months on the road with somebody else just playing bass in the background. It was almost like his, therapy or something. But yeah.
That's arguably the most difficult instrument in the band to possibly the easiest.
Yeah. That's probably why. I don't know.
That's awesome. So who's your Mount Rushmore of steel players? Or your top two or top three, or did you just have a bunch?
So I would for sure at the top. I think historically, Buddy Emmons will probably go down as
the guy,
the GOAT, to use Gen Z language. For me personally, like the guys who have had the most impact probably on my playing, number one would be Steve Rabbit Easter. He was the one I heard an instrumental album of his when I was a kid that really made me stop and take notice. Hey, what's that sound?
Yeah.
And cool thing is I actually got to meet him a couple months ago. I actually got to play in a steel jam with him.
That's awesome.
And super cool guy. So that was great. So him definitely, and then guys like I think Paul Franklin, Lloyd Green, and I would, for me personally, Sonny Garish and Tommy White as well are pretty big influences. I actually one of the songs that we did together a while back, I listened back to it after it was released and everything, and I heard a lick that I did in the song. And I don't play very much stuff that really kind of, I don't know, because I guess I'm so used to what I play. But I heard this lick come through that I put on, and I was like, oh man, that's Sonny Garish right there. And it just like, cool. I was just like, yes, can't believe I did that, you know?
What song was it?
It was on Jordan's Stormy Banks, Daniel Glick.
Oh yeah. That was not. I wonder if that's dropped yet. It might not be out yet.
It's on Apple Music.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I always lose track of when artists drop stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your what do you do now for a living?
I'm an electrician.
Okay.
Yeah, full time.
Do you want to be a full-time steel player, or are you happy with the balance that you've struck?
Right now, I'm really happy with it. I think we were talking about this the other night. I could probably do it full time. As far as being a steel player, I'm not really much of a road dog.
Yeah.
I like being home too much, and I have a little girl and another one on the way, so
yeah.
I'm pretty happy with the life I'm living.
Well, good deal, man. Thanks for stopping by Ragamuffin Hall. And folks, if you need a steel player, comment or Facebook message me. I'll hook you up. I can hire anybody, literally anybody, and I always hire him. So thanks for watching. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah, great. Good questions.